Hi, welcome guys. Welcome to Crypto Waffle episode 18. Today's market topics are macroeconomic factors. CPI data is on the 12th. TruFlation is through the floor and is liquidity heading up. Topic 2 is the bull market over. Is the cycle top in? What happens next? And finally, topic 3, a summary of the summit. What happened at our first ever White House Crypto Summit? Right, and we probably timed this pretty well. Normally we time it so markets aren't doing anything, and then after we get off, they do something.
Yeah,
But markets are down big at
the
the moment.
yeah. We're having a tough day. We're having a tough year. This is supposed to be the bull market. We're supposed to get the
Yeah,
Trump pump. It's supposed to be silly season, and we're back at 78.6
yeah,
right now.
yeah. I mean, so we'll kick off straight off with the macro stuff. So first of all, I want to share this TruFlation chart
What
with everyone.
is TruFlation?
So this is supposedly an independent data thing of inflation, the actual inflation numbers in the US. Now, this obviously I don't think takes into effect currency debasement and all these other things that we have working against us, which we know in retrospect actually puts the inflation rate higher than what any of these say. Um, but this is supposedly a better reading than, say, what the governments give us. Now, this is suggesting that the US inflation is around 1.39%, and we have the CPI coming up on Wednesday this week, I believe, um, which is the inflation reading. So it would make sense if this inflation reading was a shock to the downside that you saw markets react good to that. But then again, the counterintuitive thing that we've been talking about a while is this: we're still not near this March OPEX date, which is the 21st. And we are still, just over a week away from that happening. Not to say that we could put in a bottom maybe before or after, but remember those guidelines for this March OPEX were the S&P to come in to this big green box. And she is on her way. She's not quite there. She's only a mere 2% away from entering.
She'll get
So
there.
she's getting there. She has made her move. Everybody's freaking out, which is a good thing in my eyes. But yes, this TruFlation thing is a good. The CPI data on the 12th. If this stuff is obviously good and it plays out, because it could be that this data is skewed for whatever reason.
Why are you happy that things are so bad now, whilst
Because
everybody else is sad?
the long term, well, what I've learned in crypto space and when it comes to investing is you do the opposite of your emotions. So I actually have, I will happily admit this, fumbled the bag this cycle. So as of December the 3rd, if you look on my Instagram and you go to, I believe it's the Banana Zone highlight reel, you will see on the 3rd of December, I posted a story and it said that the local top is near. And I didn't listen to myself because I don't know what the correct way of saying it is, but because I'm so telling people how it should work, I don't take it in myself, if that makes sense. So I know what's going on, I know what I should be doing, but I never find the time to do it because I'm always updating other people and trying to do other things.
Yeah.
So you could say I fumbled the bag, when to be honest, I wouldn't. I kind of beat myself up about it probably a couple of days ago for about 10 minutes, and I thought, you're a fucking idiot. You knew what you were getting into here. Like, you can't beat yourself up about this. um, so I will quite happily, openly admit, I called the top, but didn't sell. So it was completely pointless. If you did listen to me, which I hope some people did, then well done.
It's so
Um,
difficult to sell when it's going up, though, isn't it?
it is. It's not easy at all. That is what people. Well, this is what frustrates me the most about this crypto/investing space is when you speak to people who are maybe new or friends, and they go, "You just got lucky," and you're like, "Did I really?" And they don't see everything that's in the middle of that whole 4 to 5 year maybe window that you've been in.
Yeah.
But yeah,
All
so
the pain, all the pain of
yeah,
the drops and the I guess dedication to
yeah.
make a move at a
Well,
time
I'm
like
even
now.
learning this stuff because this stuff doesn't not like it takes a week and you know it all. Like you've been learning obviously since when you got in, which was 2012, something like that.
Yeah, 2012.
And then I've been learning since I got in around 2020. And you're consistently learning. Like you're always learning new stuff. But yeah, looking back on it, I can openly say I kind of called the top, but I didn't sell anything. So
Well, you
it
done better
wasn't.
than me because I bought, I risked
I
on.
mean, I was buying stuff. I'm not going to say I wasn't buying stuff because the odd things that were down to the bottom of that Bitcoin range, if you remember, around like the 90K,
Yeah,
I'm more than happy to pick stuff up there
yeah.
because the way I look at it, and this may sound drastic, is whether I participate in this space or not, I am fucked when it comes to owning a house or owning anything or maybe doing what I want to do with my life down the line. Because if this currency debasement thing is going to play out and we go into hyperinflation and all this stuff, whether I'm a participant or not in this, I'm screwed. So I may as well try and get myself out of this
Yeah.
before anything drastic
It's
happens.
it's your fault for being young.
Exactly.
It's your fault for
I mean,
being
there's no one to blame about that. But the other
no, no
thing
one to
is,
blame but yourself. Yeah.
yeah, the other thing is liquidity. So this is the other thing we have been following for a while, and we will quickly have a look at where liquidity has updated us with regards to the Bitcoin chart. So first of all, we'll get rid of all the drawings, and then we'll turn on global liquidity, and you can see this here, that Bitcoin or liquidity. So we've been talking about this March 21st OPEX. Liquidity looks to have bottomed on the 19th or around the 28th to 31st. So in that window of the 19th to the 31st, we have obviously seen a very sharp rebound in liquidity. So liquidity is a forward-looking indicator that would suggest that Bitcoin and risk assets would rebound. It's the same for the S&P. So if we go back to the S&P chart and you overlay liquidity, it's not a perfect match like it is kind of with Bitcoin, but you get the gist. We've had this big sell-off. I mean, even the S&P kind of diverged for a bit. You could say this is kind of correlated. We diverged for a bit. We're now selling off. If that comes into that 55 to 52 region, that would be around the liquidity bottom. And then we look to get some sort of V-type reversal. Now, that V-type reversal could take us out to the second week of April before we actually start moving, because obviously this liquidity indicator at the moment is taking us out till May. So it's saying that April, May, June, Q2, we should be back around prior highs. Now, for us to gain higher highs in the S&P, Bitcoin, Nasdaq, all of these, we want to see liquidity continuing to expand. We want to see liquidity on this own scale be all the way up here.
Yeah.
We want it to be flying. Because the other measures you can look at this on TradingView if you have it is Euro M2. So you can see that Euro M2 is started to rise. Let me get rid of the liquidity.
That
So you can
is
see
how
from the,
that's Euro M2 is how much money there is in the
yeah,
eurozone in
and
Europe.
you're now starting to see that tick up. That is probably because the announcement of Germany printing for defence. Now that the US have said they're going to step away, and Germany, or the Europeans, have basically said there's no amount of money we can spend on defence. We will print whatever is necessary for defence in other ways. So that is probably why we've seen that tick up. But then also,
Are they still backing Ukraine?
are they what? Sorry.
Are they still backing Ukraine? Are the Germans saying we're going
Yes,
to defend
yes.
Ukraine?
Europe are basically now taking America's role,
Okay,
from
so
what I
that means
understand.
unfortunately more people die, but
Yes,
they're going to
although I'm
keep
of the
printing.
opinion that maybe coming into this March, now I didn't think of this until yesterday evening when I was watching a podcast. This is just me thinking out loud here, that the news of Russia ending the war on Ukraine is the next rebound in stocks, or that in general.
Well,
That could be the headline used. Like, we know it's obviously nothing to do with that. We know liquidity is expanding and they've got debts to pay and blah blah blah. But the headline used could be Russia ends war with Ukraine, US signs peace deal, blah blah blah.
does I don't know. Does that give stocks a boost? Because that means that we know there's
I
less
think it
chance
would.
of them printing.
I mean, I think it would from, I mean, a perspective of, oh, we don't know where to invest, we're scared, this, that, and the other. I think it could. I mean, when you look at M2, US M2 as well, we're on the verge of breaking out. And then I'll show you some other charts now as well. So these are from, unfortunately, I haven't got the chart deck from the March's quarterly review, but this is from February and it will do. Obviously, you've got access to that in the Telegram and so have other members if you're in there. There's also the whole video, so be sure to watch that. But we can also see in some of these chart decks, the PBOC's balance sheet is starting to tick up. We were talking about for a while, the dollar needs to come down because China are desperate to print. What is happening, the PBOC's balance sheet has ticked up as soon as we've seen this dollar start to flush. So global M2, can you hear that drilling in the background?
No.
Perfect. I thought you could hear it. Global M2 compared to 2016-18. So we can see it's pretty much the same. In turquoise is today. The white is 2018, 2016. We can see that is very similar. We can see that if this is continue, it looks like it could be playing out the same. Global M2. So this is global money supply. When we were just looking at Euro and US, we're now looking at global. We've had this same pattern every time. Breakout, retest, continuation. Breakout, retest, continuation. What's just happened? The breakout and the retest. So what would suggest that it's next? Continuation. You could then overlay that with the Bitcoin chart here, and you can see as soon as we break out, you have these extended periods where Bitcoin then gains. So this is all normal. Pullbacks. It is absolutely normal to have a 20 to 40% correction in Bitcoin during a bull market. Now, if you don't believe this, take yourself to the Bitcoin chart, stick it on a weekly, and go back to every single cycle into the bull markets and just have a look at the pullbacks. You will be shocked with how deep some of them actually are. DXY, kind of the same sort of stuff. NASDAQ in 2018 compared to today looks pretty similar. And finally, Bitcoin in 2018 compared to today. Obviously, none of these things are going to be exactly the same, but you get the general direction of things.
And every time does feel different.
Yes,
Every time it does feel different. Like this time does feel different. This time it feels like, are we not going to get a bull market?
bull market feels over.
Yeah.
That's how I
The
explain
same
it
thing happened
currently.
last time. I remember it
Yeah,
happening. Same thing happened last time.
yeah. Because I mean, this is what we were saying. This is the dollar we've been watching for ages. Now, we have talked about the dollar coming down, and I've talked about when I do my market updates on a Sunday for the free Telegram. We were looking at this double top first. That double top played. The target was reached by the double top. We then had, when we're playing this head and shoulders, so we can see this left shoulder here, this big head, and a smaller right shoulder. That is now at play. The target for that is 101. I am looking for the dollar to come down to this bigger macro channel. As you can see, my little squiggle down here around 95. Now, it's not to say we could break that. I don't think we will, because we literally had Scott Bessent and others out this week saying they still want to keep the US dollar the world's reserve currency, and they will do that by stable coins, which I thought was very bullish for the space. It's no one I didn't see much on. So if you're going to look to play it, maybe look in the stable coin space / DeFi. But dollar, I think down to this area. If we break this channel, then holy shit. That is when I think you could get the likes of them what's the term called? Repricing gold against the dollar. Stuff like that, which helps actually bring down their debt, which a couple of people are talking about at the minute.
Which could be useful.
Yes.
Which could be useful.
I think that is definitely a possibility, because I think I was listening to a podcast today where if they did that, it would immediately basically give them about $1 trillion, or give the Fed about $1 trillion in their TGA, I believe, if they were to reprice gold.
See, there's a lot of uncertainty, and I think
There is.
that's the problem with the markets now. Is the uncertainty is what's crushing people. Do you
Yeah.
think that? How much of a role do you think Donald Trump is playing in the current
So
uncertainty?
I've been thinking about this. Now, it's maybe because I've been trying to fit in a lot of podcasts, because obviously in times of this, you're trying to find, well, not hopium slash narratives, because we know the bigger picture at play here. But I want to keep up to date with all the smaller stuff, the things that the big players are thinking about, maybe what they're doing. And last election, Trump was literally tweeting and posting about the stock market, and the stock market would rip. Like, it was just ripping. This time, he has not said a single thing about it. Now, he knows how the stock market works. Now, he knows that if he's to come out and talk about tariffs this, tariffs that, and then literally within a period of 24 hours walking back those tariffs, he knows the stock market hates uncertainty.
Yeah,
People will not invest if they're not certain which way anything or somewhere is going.
yeah,
So he knows, and this could be a orchestrated market downturn, because we also know that that other chart that we look at, that one with a hockey stick of their debt just going up, that is coming due, and they need lower rates to refinance that. They can't be refinancing that at 4% interest. Like, we know they're going to go into some sort of spiral, but 4% just brings that even closer.
yeah.
So they need them as low as possible. So we've also seen, so if I share my screen again, we've also seen the 10-year yield start to break, which is another good thing. So we've got the dollar breaking down, which is great, and we've also got 10-year. So again, if you guys have been following in my free Telegram, we've been talking about this 10-year. Now, a while ago, back in the month of December, we had this breakout of this descending channel. Now, I said on that breakout, this could be a fake out on a bigger time frame, so i.e. the monthly or the quarterly, whatever you want to call it. I said we could break out. We then had this top in tail of January, which reverses a key reversal signal, and we saw the flush in Feb back in. So this whole move here above this trend line is a fake out. Now, when you see a fake out, you normally get a move in the opposite direction. So this move originally was up. We should now see an extended move to the downside. Okay, so I am targeting 10-year back to 3.4%, something like that. So if we zoom into the weekly, well, and the daily, probably do daily first, it's a bit easier. You can see when we got above, there was this smaller head and shoulders here. So shoulder there, head here, and a right shoulder here. That played out. Target was this support here, bang up 4.1%, hit. I've then done my silly little squiggles, and you can see I've basically drawn a line up, down, and then dip. But now what is at play here is if it creates one of these arches, is a bigger head and shoulders. This left shoulder, this head, and this right shoulder. And that move takes us down to my targets, which is the lower end of that channel, around the 3.5. Now this is good. Why is this good? And the faster that happens, the better, because the lower they go, and the quicker it does it, the faster they'll start issuing new stimulus to refinance this debt. And this debt is this chart that we look at, where it literally just hockey sticks up and to the right. Like, that is what they're trying to deal with here.
That's
So
crazy.
it would not surprise me if this is an orchestrated market downturn, like, at all. And which is why I've also said, and we've said this, when we get here, so the guy that's actually come up with this, and I got these figures and everything from, I dissected like probably 6 hours of interviews with him to put all of it kind of together. His ex name is Jam Croissant, so be sure to go check him out. But these are the targets, and they said once we get to here, we should see new all-time highs, a big counter trend rally. Now, it also they have mentioned that they wouldn't surprise me if the Fed immediately stopped QT, sorry, in March. So I think they originally talked about it in Q2, was it? They said. So
Yeah.
that looks like it's now going to come forwards because you've seen this market downturn and growth scares and all this stuff. They could bring that now forward, and then they'd need to act pretty quick, which would then start stimulus. As long as the dollar keeps low as well, China will continue to do stimulus. If the US is pulling away from Ukraine whilst that is still on, Germany and others will be printing to basically take the spot of the Americans in protecting Ukraine. But this kind of covers topic 2 as well, which is the bull market over? So all of this is linked, which is why when people say crypto is macro and macro is crypto, there's 2 ways here that you will know if this bull market is done. Okay, and they are very simple. The TA should tell you, and this is how I will personally be playing it. So we have this right translated cycle and left translated cycle. A right translated cycle would look something like this. Bitcoin coming down into this green box, maybe wicking below, and then come Q2, Q3, we make all-time highs and continue. Now, a left translated cycle would be we come into maybe this lower boundary of 63, so this descending line here, we then rally, but we don't get past, say, the 90k. That's the wall. We have then created a higher low. Okay, then I think you sell off. So we may see kind of not a stunted cycle per se, but something that I don't think a lot of people would be prepared for. Now, how does this align with Trump and everyone? I would see this as actually I feel better in the longer term view, only because if they are to do this and drag this out into the summer, we then have a year bear market from say Q4 all the way to the end of 2026, then coming into Trump's re-election of 2028, markets would or should be ripping. So
Can he?
kind of bottom towards the 2027, start climbing back up, re-election 2028, everyone's happy, markets are booming. Who's going to start voting for Trump again? Everyone that owns assets.
Can he be elected again?
I'm not sure he will. I think he don't. I think he wouldn't want to do it anyway.
Yeah.
I think their party, is it the Democrats?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Republicans, they
Democrats.
are. They're
The
the
Republicans,
Republicans.
sorry. They would be re-elected again because everyone seems to have a short memory. Yes, we might be going through a bit of pain now, and if that left translated cycle theory does happen, and we dump into say 2027, I think that is actually ultimately better in the longer term because coming into 2028, they'll just juice the hell out of it to get everyone back on board and voting them in again. But I don't know. Let's see. I'm looking to play it like that. If we do get this macro lower high, I will be looking to trim around 20 to 30% of my portfolio in this area. So between like the 85 to 90k ish, something like that. I mean, you could just do that anyway when we get back out there, just in case you're worried, because that way it's all about managing your risk here. Let's be honest. If you're unsure, you could take some stuff off the table here because if you're buying this dip, like I am, anything you buy in this dip, if you come back up here, you're profitable. So you could take all those profits you've made on this recent dip, hold that as cash. If we dip, great, you've got cash to buy. If we don't, you've still got the majority of your portfolio in and you're off to the races. So that's the way I'm playing it.
I'm still feeling like we do get the blow off top later in the
I
year.
mean, the liquidity stuff still points to we're going to just go straight past.
I think
Obviously,
also now that the Americans have decided that they will have a crypto reserve, which I guess we'll move on to in a little while, it's opened the floodgates for everybody to have a crypto reserve,
yeah.
which although they're talking stablecoin, the reality will be everybody's going to try to get as much of this Bitcoin as they possibly can.
Yeah.
There wasn't a story. I don't know how accurate it was, but there was a story about the IMF giving El Salvador grief. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, what about buying Bitcoin a while ago?
Yeah,
I remember
but
seeing
not
that on Twitter.
right. Yeah, but right. So this is currently news now. So El Salvador bought 5 BTC yesterday amid a new IMF loan that has set some restriction on El Salvador's Bitcoin policy. So what that kind of strikes me as is that it's now become somewhat of an arms race, whereby
Yes.
the Americans want to have as much of this Bitcoin as they possibly can, but at the same time, they don't want anybody else to have Bitcoin,
No.
which would suggest that everybody else is going to start to buy Bitcoin.
Well, let's be honest. If Bitcoin's at 110, the US launches a Bitcoin strategic reserve, they're not going to be buying it at 110, are they?
No.
If they've got the capability and the Fed and everyone on their side, then they know how they can dump markets. What are they going
That's what
to
they
do?
do. Yeah, that's what
You
they
dump
do.
it.
That's what they do. But problem being, which is the nature of Bitcoin, is that if they dump it, they give everyone else a chance to run in the door.
Yeah.
So the lower the price is, the more that Bukele can buy, the more that the Chinese can buy, the more that the Arabs can buy. Everyone can buy more
Yeah.
if they drop the price. So it's a, I don't know. It seems like a very indefensible position. So they've still got the IMF trying to fight on their behalf and stop everyone else from getting in the door. But I don't know. I feel like that force as well will push the price of Bitcoin higher.
Yeah.
I think it just will. I think the British government, we really have to start thinking, well, where's our strategic reserve? Like, what are we doing? Why are we going to get left behind?
Didn't we
Because
sell ours a while ago? I
I
know
don't
it was
know.
Germany, wasn't it?
Yeah, we know Germany sold a massive amount, which is surprising because they are supposedly the smartest nation in Europe, but they've
I
definitely,
wouldn't believe that if you told me that was
yeah,
it.
well, they fumbled the bag for sure. So I don't know what they were doing, but yeah, we definitely need one. At this point, it would be reckless for us not to have one. So
Yeah.
it'll
Yeah, I
be
think it will
interesting.
be. I mean, you've already seen these smaller countries, is like Bhutan.
Yeah,
They're now buying Bitcoin, and then also a lot of these Bitcoin mining companies. They're now doing stuff with AI. It's not just Bitcoin mining companies.
yeah,
Like these people, they're not dumb. They know how this stuff works. They're using a lot of natural energy sources rather than oil and all this
yeah,
other stuff, using renewable energy sources.
yeah,
So if you're a small country, even like El Salvador does, where they use the volcano steam and whatnot to mine Bitcoin, you've got all this excess energy being used. You can have literally make free money from it
yeah.
with a little bit of an investment.
And not any old money, special
No,
money that
it's
everyone
new
wants.
money.
Yeah, proper money, right?
Yeah,
Proper value. So I don't know. I think that I feel like this downturn flies in the face of everything that's actually happening. So
yes,
with regards to technology moving forward and people becoming more efficient, and we know liquidity is going to be coming up, and we know that we're in the second year after the halving. Like there are so many reasons for things to be going up, and
yeah,
the only reason for things to be going down currently is uncertainty. But
it's
we're
literally
quite
it.
we're quite certain what's going to happen next. Like we
Yeah.
kind of know what's going to
Well,
happen
that's
next.
that's the beauty of the forward-looking indicators and the lights of liquidity.
Yeah,
You can basically see what they're saying. There's lots of liquidity reports and that out there, and people that literally like Michael Howe is the best person to watch on liquidity. There's a great video that I think I actually put in the free Telegram. I can't remember. If not, I'll put it in the paid one 100%. Um, but him explaining what's going on now and who needs to print next and how much they need to print, when they're going to look to do it by, and how soon. And That is all you need to know.
Yeah.
Yes, your altcoins might be down 70, 80% from the highs.
And the rest,
Right?
90 plus.
Yeah, but unfortunately, shit happens.
Yeah.
Right? You are holding the riskiest of risk assets. But even Tesla this week, I think, is down. Let's have a quick look on my screen. I believe Tesla's down about 70% from highs.
Yeah.
Am I wrong? So we peaked out around 490. Okay, we're down 53%. And that is now, well, it was $1 trillion company. It's now $727 billion company. Like Coinbase stock is down 50 odd percent.
Yeah. It's
Um,
like that these TradFi stocks are acting like meme coins.
well, Nvidia. Look at Nvidia, the biggest one today. I mean, let's throw that up. I'll share the screen.
Well, the reality is, I don't know. Nvidia's a tough one because the argument is no one's going to need it. The, they don't have the they don't have the moat that they require.
That's Nvidia. That's my box of interest. If I was to buy, I'm not going to because I buy crypto. In times like this, my stock portfolio takes the back seat. I want the stuff with the higher risk.
Yeah.
But that's me personally. Now, this is where I'd be looking to pick Nvidia up. And if you had told someone that back in, say, November 24, Nvidia would be in or sub 100 in around March, they'd probably be calling you absolutely mental.
Unless you said that there would be some technical reason that their moat that they have no longer exists.
Yeah, well, TA wise, I mean, you kind of got the go ahead after the 21st of Jan. You had that rebound, failed retest or bearish retest of this wedge and continuation. So,
But nothing has changed. So
no,
it's the same stock, got the same actual value, but just now a lower price.
yeah. And I do think the video will make all time highs. Again, I don't think it is just it's one and done. Something will come out. God knows what it is. But let's see.
I don't know. I don't know. I think it's a tough one because the more I'm digging into AI, the more I'm starting to understand that things are getting very cheap and
Yes.
very effective. So
Yeah. That's the trouble with AI. You literally have AIs making AIs better.
yeah,
So they're so fast at doing it. It's not like we're used to where developers will take a while as a team.
no.
Like you could have a cluster of AIs or 4 or 5 AIs and they do the work of 100 devs. Like,
There's a thing that this is off topic, but there's this thing that I've got addicted to called vibe coding, where
right, okay.
you just get the AI to code for you and you just relax. Honestly, the last 3 or 4 days I've done nothing but sit in this room and vibe code. I've got music on and it's like I can build pretty decent applications
Yeah.
like quite easily. And I'm not a coder, but I understand a little bit. So if somebody of my level can do it like very easily, then everybody can do it. So I do think that it does open the door for more people using AI. I think we're going to use it like how we use the internet. We're going to use it without even knowing it. But I don't think that the processors needed will be as heavy as NVIDIA are creating.
No, I don't think they will.
I think it's only a matter of time before the Chinese release something that's open source
Yeah.
that can match the stuff that the NVIDIA processors can do. And
I mean, eventually, all these things that people pay for, like ChatGPT and Anthropic, they'll all be pennies anyway.
yeah, so race to
That's what technology does, isn't it? It just makes everything infinitely cheaper.
it's a race to the bottom.
Yeah.
It's always a race to the bottom. So yeah. So I don't know, but in terms of crypto, I guess it relates because crypto kind of worries about what happens with America, in particular, what they call the Magnificent Seven, the big tech stocks, which is interesting because recently the they call them the Mag Seven. They have been moving back down towards the rest of the market. So their dominance has been shrinking. Meanwhile, Bitcoin's dominance has been growing. And I don't know if there is a correlation between the two,
Yeah, I'm not sure. I
but
mean,
yeah,
to be honest, I don't really look into the Mag 7.
no.
I mean, I don't hold any. The only one I hold is Tesla, actually. But then, even then, people were knocking that off for not being Mag 7 when that was below $1 trillion. So,
You see, so and that's the thing. So I do feel like the similarity between the two is that they're kind of like almost hands off stores of value. So people who own assets, the type of people who will own stocks will be the type of people who will own crypto. Especially now we've got ETFs. The type of people who will buy stocks will be the same type of people who will hold crypto, and I guess it's a hedge against cash, because that's what the S&P 500 really is used
yeah.
for. It's a hedge against cash. So it's interesting to see that one is becoming, I guess, more diverse, whilst the other is becoming less diverse. And I wonder
Yeah.
why that is, but who knows?
So, have you been picking up anything in the AI space within crypto land?
No, I haven't got anything recently. I've been keeping my eye on AI 16Z. That is
Yeah.
really, that's the one that I've got my hopes pinned on for this cycle. But other than that, nothing's really jumped out at me, to be honest with you.
It's nearly AI 16Z is nearly at that
Like 15.
116 to 110 region.
Yep. Yep. And
Nearly
I was
there.
looking at that today and I was like, crikey. And then SPX 6900 is at 29 cents.
Yeah.
So, and these are projects that if we do have a blow off top, SPX 6900 is going to do a 10x from here.
Yeah. I mean, if SPX goes to where I think it will go, I reckon it will go to around 25, maybe even a bit lower.
Yeah.
But just all-time highs from 24, it's 600% rally.
Yeah.
So you're looking at a 6x.
Yeah. So yeah. So those are the ones. It's interesting, but because everything is so negative, just I just can't buy. I haven't got the nerve for it. I haven't got the nerve to, even
Yeah.
though I know.
I was hesitant to, and I was actually, those orders that we discussed last week that I had on Bitcoin, I was thinking about knocking them down. And I was like, no, what are you doing? Why are you doing that? Just take it whilst it's there. Don't be greedy. I mean, I'm in a lucky enough position that I work a 9 to 5. So
Yeah.
if it's still like that towards the end of the month, then there's another load going in. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not being picky here. Like anything, I think here is a decent time to stop buying
Yeah.
because it is down big already. And to be honest, I think most of the weak hands have probably already been flushed out.
Yeah. I can't see many people having conviction to just be holding through this,
Yeah.
especially not in the altcoins. Everybody's out with the altcoins. The people who are still in are just furious and angrily typing on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, the other one that I've been buying a lot of is Doge.
Yeah.
That is still my big play.
They are things that will come back. I think Solana's another one. They are things that we know
Do
will
you know
come
what?
back.
Do you know what's hilarious? I don't know if I've showed this chart on here before. It's the Doge BTC chart. So basically, since Doge has come out, this basically shows you. So everyone says Bitcoin is sound money, right? But I I bring to you the Doge Bitcoin chart, and this shows you basically if this is to repeat, obviously, and we then rocket off from here and do the same thing. This will show you that Doge has been a better store of value than Bitcoin. Sounds retarded? Yes, I totally get it. But the chart doesn't lie.
Yeah.
Now, I've said this to myself, members, friends, family. If I had never said to myself I would not touch my Bitcoin, I would be selling all my Bitcoin here for Doge. Like, that is the big balls play. Um,
I I,
that is that
I
is
couldn't.
what I believe could be a career play, selling Bitcoin for Doge here.
That's yeah. That's definitely massive cojones.
Yeah,
Definitely massive.
massive.
But I can't see it. Not with the thing with altcoins is that I don't think they can be a reserve currency. I don't think they can be.
Oh no, I'm not saying that Doge obviously get to reserve currency status.
Yeah.
I'm just saying percentage wise, you will earn more for buying Doge here than Bitcoin.
So what do you think makes Doge not fall behind to or get flipped by S&P
I
6900
couldn't
or
tell you, but I'm just looking at this chart. And then if you were to do the Doge, let's do the Doge SPX. SPX
you
69.
probably see a similar thing. But obviously,
Yeah.
though, SPX is quite young, isn't it? So
Oh, maybe it hasn't got it. Let's try Doge USDT SPX USDT. Oh come on.
or just do USD. Just try USD.
Yeah, try it.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah, so you can see that SPX was outperforming Doge for a bit, which is why we saw this. But since then, Doge is coming back up. So what you'd want to see here is this get rejected, and you look for this to come down again for SPX to outperform. When this
Right.
gets back above here, then that opens running back to these highs
Right. Okay.
over here.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not one to be lumping my Bitcoin in for SPX, but looking at the Doge chart, I would much rather be looking, because if you did BTC USD versus SPX USD, you can see Bitcoin's now outperforming. So it's kind of like the Doge chart, not too much
I'll
different.
tell you what. I'll tell you something. Right. I'll tell you something. This is something that we both know,
Yeah.
but neither of us wants to say it out loud. In reality, in reality,
Yeah.
either we get a blow off top or we don't.
Yeah.
If we get a blow off top, SPX will do infinitely times better than Bitcoin will. If
Yeah.
we don't get a blow off top, SPX goes to zero.
I don't know about zero, but it might be dying.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
yeah. So let's say you may lose from here. You may lose a further 80% of your value. I think you
Yeah.
will anyway, because I think when the bull market eventually does end, I think memes get slaughtered again as they have this time round. I think AI gets slaughtered. I think everything gets slaughtered.
Yeah.
But if we have that blow off top, and let's say the actual high comes in at December this year, as everybody predicted years ago, if we moved now all of our Bitcoin from Bitcoin into SPX or even Doge,
You'd have a lot more.
we would be the
I,
smartest
I,
men in the
I
universe.
would, I would do that if I had not told myself that I'd never touch my Bitcoin at the start, and I seriously would do that. And that is why, I mean, even without me doing that, to be honest, Doge is my biggest bag at current,
Yeah.
even though it is down 50 odd percent. I mean, we went up to 50k. We're now at 16 cents. It's down over 50% from where it was.
Yeah.
It is still remain my biggest bag because I am clipping Doge like no tomorrow. I mean, it sounds so stupid to even speak about out loud.
So, so
But
what's happened to characters like Murad and the meme coin
I mean,
Supercycle?
I still see him tweet occasionally.
And what does he
Um,
say? Just keeps on saying believe, believe. Let's see.
yeah, he's something along the lines of that sort of stuff.
Yeah. SPX 6900 will go to $100 billion this cycle.
I mean, I'm not sure about that, but yeah,
I'm
I
going to give
get
it
what
a
you mean.
like anyway, because why not?
I mean, because the other thing is why I like Doge. And now this is purely for technicals. There is no fundamentals behind this thinking at all. Okay, this is the Doge monthly chart. Now you can see every time, literally every time. Yes, every cycle has been slightly different. Like we were saying earlier, every cycle is slightly different. We have this consolidation, expansion, contraction slash consolidation, expansion, consolidation. What is to happen next if the theory is to play out? Expansion.
I'll tell you something else as well. When Doge moves, it signals altcoin season.
Yes. I mean, just here you see, I've got one order left on Doge. down here at about 14 cents.
Yeah, when Doge moves, that's when you know it's alt season. Because in the last cycle, I remember Doge going crazy and then alt season, and the cycle before, Doge went crazy and then alt season.
Yeah. But then again, the ISM, we talked about this last week, the ISM above 50 also indicates all season. So there's macro stuff to play as well.
Right, I've got a question for you. Right, scenario: you've longed Bitcoin, and you've longed it heavy. You smashed in a massive long on
How are
Bitcoin.
you going to do it? Is that the question?
You have to now double down. So let's say you put 100 grand on
Yeah.
Bitcoin long, and it's come down, and you're almost liquidated now. You're coming close to being liquidated.
Yeah.
Do you throw more money on top to move your liquidation price down further to 70 odd? No, not 70 odd. To let's say you can move it down to 69, or do you cut your losses?
I mean, me being me, I'm reading into it more. So that's if I'm putting $100 long on, I've probably got a couple mil in the bank doing jack. So I'd probably double
No,
down.
no, 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 no. You've got 100. You say, let's say you've got 200. So if you put more on,
So I've literally got all I've got left is
so
going on.
yeah. So if you put
Yeah,
more
no, I'm
on,
not doubling. I'm not doubling.
you're not covering it. You're just gonna take the hit. So you've lost half of your net worth.
And I was literally thinking about this earlier today. It's obviously not to that extent, but I was thinking of where I'd be looking to put a big leverage long on. And I might look to do that around 72, 73-ish.
Yeah.
Low 70s, high 60s. I think maybe start getting into a leverage long. Not massive. Like for me, I've said this many times, I hate big leverage. I'm talking literally 2 or 3x, nothing major. But yeah, a sizable leverage long for me.
Yeah.
Now, that is probably going to only be a maximum of, say, £1,000.
Yeah.
Because I don't fiddle around with this sort of stuff. Because most of mine is spot.
Yeah.
But that is something I am contemplating.
Yeah. I think we're getting to that stage now where it is time to consider
Yeah.
leverage longs.
Because, I mean, the only thing that throws me off of that, the only thing that throws me off of wanting to do that, I mean, not that it doesn't throw me off, is that it would not surprise me, just because I've said this many times, them coming out with some sort of reason or whatever to nuke even further than everyone's prepared for. I've seen 1 or 2 accounts that I follow discuss a 50 or 50k to 60k Bitcoin. Now that is not on my bingo card. Okay, I don't think that's a possibility. But
Wow.
I'm not going to say that it's a 99% chance not going to happen, because
Yeah.
there's always a percentage that it could.
Yeah.
Now, if it does, people will be shitting the bed.
Yeah.
Like, all these buys that I've been putting in are pretty much pointless. All those assets are going to be down another 50 odd percent, if not more. I mean, there's even one account that I really respect. He's really good at short-term trading. Like, he's the best. He's called PermaBear on X. He said that next bear market, Bitcoin will go below its 15k low. Yeah.
I can't see it.
I mean, again, I pulled the exact same face you just pulled when I read that. And I said, no, can't see it. But the only reason I can see that happening is if you go back to the S&P 500 in the 1970s, we had this period. So actually, I'll throw it up. Obviously, not to say that this is Bitcoin and what it's going to do and everything, but this is the only reason from what I've watched and see, where this could play out. So going back to the 1970s, we had this. So imagine, let's say this is Bitcoin. Right?
Oh.
One cycle here, peak, trough. Then the second cycle, peak, but we had a lower low. We haven't seen that in Bitcoin. We haven't had lower lows. This is what I think he's kind of explaining. We have some sort of peak. Everyone thinks, okay, we might bottom here. We don't, but nuke to lower than 15k. And then after that, obviously people think it's dead, it's never coming back, blah, blah, blah. And it takes, I mean, from the low here in the S&P, that was 1974, we didn't get above the prior high till 1980. It took 6 years. And I think if Bitcoin is to go down there to that 15K, it would take a long time to get back out of the hole.
Then everyone would have to go and start playing with altcoins then, wouldn't they?
Yeah. But then again, I think to even, again, looking at that scenario and looking at crypto today, I think it's a very different monetary policy. Because if we get into any sort of trouble that would nuke Bitcoin to 15K, unless, of course, the network got hacked or whatever it was, I mean, they're the only scenarios that the Fed literally can't do anything about it. Because on a broader macro perspective, if it's to nuke the S&P, what's the Fed do? Stimulus.
Yeah.
Anything of that sort of stuff, we know what the answer is. But Bitcoin to itself, that's the only kind of scenario I could see that happening. I think it's highly unlikely.
Highly unlikely, yeah.
Yeah, and I am literally balls to the walls risk, so I'm not betting on that.
Should we discuss the crypto summit?
Another nothing burger. All it was, the FIFA bloke, wasn't it? Talking about a FIFA coin.
So on Friday at the White House, Donald Trump has assembled the most powerful people in his cabinet, or in his country even, where it comes to the crypto industry. So all the heavy hitters from the industry that are American are there. Everybody's there. I think even CZ, who's the guy from Binance who just got out of prison, even he was there. So everybody's there, and the way they've set it up is they've got this top table, so it kind of looks like Jesus and his disciples, with Donald Trump sitting in the middle, and then he's just flanked by all of these guys. I thought it was... Well, I tried to squeeze as much, hopium out of it as I could. They spent a lot of time telling Donald Trump how great he is. I think the whole thing...
Blowing hot air at him.
Right. The whole thing lasted like 20 minutes. And I'd say about 18 of those minutes were, Donald Trump, you're so great. Donald Trump, you're so great. Donald Trump himself, he spoke for quite a while. He spoke well. It seems like he knows what he's talking about, which I like. He seems sharp. Like, he seems a lot sharper than Biden anyway. Yeah. He mocked the Americans for selling crypto already in the last administration. He skirted over the fact that I think he sold crypto himself when it was his administration prior to 2020, but he skirted over that. He said most of it was sold by the last lot. But the good thing I thought about it was that he had the David Sachs guy, who is now the top crypto guy, although he's probably only been in crypto 5 minutes, but I guess he understands American policy and he understands American business, and he's very good at it. And they also had the top guy from the Treasury there, and they had the guy from the SEC. So basically they had all the guys there who you would need to get the thing done. They were all there, and they were all on the same page, and they were all like ready to make Bitcoin the main thing in the Trump cabinet, and in the American Treasury. So from that point of view, I thought it was good. There wasn't much more, but in reality, what more would we have expected to hear anyway? It's not as if we're going to say, we're going to start buying this much of it every single year or anything like that. So from my point of view, it seemed like it was much ado about nothing, but it does show that they are serious about it. So overall, it was a good thing. Obviously not as good as we would have liked. And I don't think, regardless of how good it was, I don't think it was going to change the direction of the market anyway. And I think everybody kind of knew that.
Unless they literally come out and said, well, we're going to print endless amount of dollars to buy Bitcoin.
Yes. Yeah.
But they were never going to come out and say that.
Unless they came and said that, basically, chuck your dollars in the bin because we don't care. We're just going to inflate away everything and we're going to buy Bitcoin with it. In which case, Bitcoin would have flown. But
I mean, the positive I took away from the FIFA side of things. Now, I didn't watch the call because I thought, well, it's generally going to be a nothing burger anyway, and it turned out it was. So I'm glad I didn't spend or waste my time joining into it. But the FIFA thing, I think, opens up tokenized clubs. and what they do with it. So we know the likes, I think Man City and United have already got tokens.
Yeah.
United even have a stock. I think there's some Serie A teams that have tokens as
Yeah.
well. So I think, I mean, this may be getting way ahead of myself. Next cycle, look at what you class it as Web3, tokenization, real world assets, that sort of stuff. Like these clubs will be looking to come on chain.
So we can go a step further. So essentially, clubs having tokens is them kind of democratizing ownership of their club. So the reason why they would do it is so that everybody, the average fan, can buy a tiny bit of ownership in that club. That's kind of what you want to get. The way they have tokens now, they don't really have that. It's not ownership, it's more like membership. So the tokens that they have now are more like membership. So you get little perks. You might get a discount or you might get entrance to some, I don't know, little party or whatever. Now, in Germany, fans owning clubs is not anything new. So there are plenty of clubs which are fan owned. So they're kind of owned by the fans, and the fans own this much. If you buy a season ticket, you get this much share in the club, or however it works. Now, with FIFA saying what they're saying, and the German model already being like that, I think the next step, more than likely, will be some small German club having a ICO and saying, right, we are giving away thing to this club. You can buy your tokens. Anybody in the world can own a little piece of this club, providing, I guess you'd have to do some accredited investor thing or whatever. And then you would get to choose who the sponsors are. You would get to choose who the head of director of football
I
is,
think,
etc.,
I think
etc.
the other thing is there's so much they can do with it as well.
Yeah.
Like there's hundreds of possibilities of what you could do with a tokenized club. Like,
It will have to be a small club first, though. I can't see
yes.
any of these big clubs where there's so much money involved doing something like that.
No, and the ones that own these big clubs, they're not going to want to sell it to your average Joe, are they?
I guess they could sell a portion.
Yeah, they could
So
do a portion.
they could do an
I'm
ICO
sure
and
United would do that at the moment because they're not doing too well.
no, but
One
United's a good
could do
buy right now, isn't it?
yeah. I mean, on a stock wise, I'm not financial advice.
Yeah.
If crypto wasn't down, I'd be buying United stock.
Yeah, absolutely. We looked at the chart a few weeks ago,
Yeah,
and it makes sense. So yeah, so overall, yeah, the summit was a bit of a nothing burger, as people had assumed it would be,
yeah,
but at least we know the Americans are serious, and it's like,
which is good.
unlike the tariffs, this one Trump means it, so we will get it, I think.
It's good. Right, let's get in to our predictions of last week. So I think kick it off. Oh, maybe my order's been triggered.
No,
Right, where's the chart?
there is no chart.
It's so high above us. There it is.
We haven't
Right.
touched. We ain't touched 77.5, have we?
The low is currently 77,459.
Oh, so you got it.
Maybe. Come on! First bit of Bitcoin in about 2 years. We'll take that all day of the week. Right. My prediction was the bullish scenario. It was around the 95k, I believe. And you were this lower one here around 78. So you are spot on, literally where we are now.
I am.
And we did go to a high last week of 94.4. So was mine 95?
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay. So I was 500 off. So to be honest, I would like to say we're both correct.
Yeah, we touched yours, and then we raced down to mine.
Yeah. I mean, sadly, the trades we put on, I probably got liquidated first.
You did.
Yeah, before it even went up,
Yeah.
which is a bit annoying, but it happens.
Yeah.
I take it yours is still in the money?
No, I put on a take profit, so
Oh, okay. Where was the TP? I can't remember.
it was at 130, and
Oh, okay.
we touched that just before coming on. So
Oh, okay.
I'm looking at Hyperliquid now, and
130.
yeah, because it was It was Solana,
Oh,
wasn't it?
Sol, wasn't it? Yes. Sorry, I'm thinking you did Bitcoin.
No, no. I done Sol.
Yeah.
I done a Sol short down to 130, and we got it. So let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, take profit. Close
Lovely.
my Sol.
Yeah. So Solana again, we were both correct. We both. This is both of us. I assume I was the slightly more bullish one.
Yeah.
And you said 124. Both bang on there. So 2 out of 2 so far. Arve, you were just off. I mean, we went to a low of 167. I believe yours
Ooh,
was around 160.
I said 160. Yeah.
Yeah, just off. But it looks like you may get it this week. So a little bit late.
You're never wrong. You're
No,
sometimes just early.
yeah. It did touch mine of 215. We went actually to a high. Is that right? 215? Yeah, 215. We went to a high of 241. So actually above where I thought it would go. Curve, again, I believe you are spot on with where we are right now.
Oh no, have we come that far down? Okay.
Yeah. And then, unfortunately, my one was Green Boy too high.
Yeah, look.
60, 60 cents, nowhere near it.
Yeah, 35. So literally today we've got it.
Yeah. So we'll give you that. We're both three for four at the moment. And then finally, Cardano, we both went bullish
Yeah.
and got left for dust.
Well, it turns out that Cardano, they're not as involved with the US government as we all thought.
Yeah, didn't they only mention those five because it was in the market cap?
Yeah.
Yeah, thought that was the case.
Yeah.
Right, so what do we want to do this week? Stick with Bitcoin.
Of course.
Should we do ETH instead of Sol?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
why not?
let's put ETH in. ETH instead of Sol, and then what other ones do we want?
Oh my gosh, ETH is getting.
I tell you what, I quite like previously Maple, now Syrup, which is an RWA play.
Okay.
So I'm going to do an RWA. You got any RWAs you'd like to do?
Mm.
'Cause if not, I can think of others.
Well, there's Ondo, isn't there? Which
Yeah,
is
that's the one I was going to say.
that one springs to mind. I'm looking through the list.
Look at that. I've done some previous TA on Ondo. And then what else do you want?
I think I'll do. I want to do whiff.
Whiff, yeah?
Yeah,
Let's do it.
let's do whiff. I think whiff might be outside the top 100 now. Am I going crazy?
Maybe.
It's 142.
Wow.
It's like 43 cents.
I mean, I hate to say it, but it's bang on support here. So, but yeah. So, Bitcoin, where do you think? Where are we going this week?
71.
Yeah? See, I'm so tempted to go bearish again, but I just think there's going to be a reversal at some point for like this week. And I have a feeling it will be tomorrow. Turn around Tuesday. So
The
I don't
thing
know.
is, we're all putting our hopes on end of March being the
Yeah,
turnaround time. That's still 2 weeks from now.
yeah. But then I'm trying to do it for this week because obviously if we're going to put a trade on again, we need the week.
Yeah.
Um,
So I think it's still too early to go bullish
the trend is your friend until it's broken, isn't it?
until it's not. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to join you on a. What did you say? 71.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to go not as bearish. I'm going to do 72.5.
Yeah, 71's a bit crazy, isn't it? Let me look at this.
I think that's warranted though. I think that's definitely warranted. And then when I say 72.5, so that is there. Bosh. Right, so that is Bitcoin. Ethereum, where are we going? Just for a bit of context, the McDonald's top is currently playing out. Target is sticking ETH at around 1,200. Yeah. Also, I don't know if you saw what I did, Cole, in the Telegram. I sold an ETH at around 2,180.
Mm.
I'm looking to buy back around 1,450 and increase that ETH to 1.5 ETH.
Makes sense.
So that is now in motion.
Are we doing? Oh, so it's ETH the other one we're doing. Hold on, right. What did I say for Bitcoin? I said 71, didn't I?
71, I said 72.5. And then ETH, I am going to go again, although I think we could have a bearish retest. This is why I hate short-term stuff.
It's too short to say anything with any kind of conviction.
I'm going to go low. I'm going to say ETH at 1.6.
Yeah.
I think ETH would drop another $200.
Yeah.
You joining me there?
I'm gonna say 1.5.
Yeah. Perfectly warranted.
Yeah. Okay, and next was syrup, right?
Yeah. Well, I've got the maple chart just because there's more chart history. Because if you look at the syrup chart, it looks awful. But this is maple currently. That is on the weekly. Yeah, if we go into the daily, this is where we are now. It has been kind of holding its own, if I'm honest, over the last couple of days. Did spike up to that for $20.
Okay, so what? So syrup is like 1/10.
Hmm.
Is it like a? Have they done like a token swap? Let me see.
No, they might have done actually. Yeah, they did. That was a while ago now. I can't remember how long ago that was.
Okay, so I've got maple at
$13.
$13. Yeah.
Yeah, I can put
Okay. All right. We'll do maple then. Let's look at maple. Yeah, because we get a longer time.
Yeah, it's just got more chart history really.
Yeah.
Um, I'm going to go with bearishness, and I'm going to say we could see it down at 10.50, even though it's been holding strong.
It's done pretty well, this thing.
Yeah, last
RWAs. Yeah.
it's one of my bets. I'm actually still up on it. I had a really good entry, but I have gone for 10.50.
Yeah, I'm gonna go more bearish than that.
We reckon the strength breaks down.
Yeah, I think it goes down to revisit 9.
9, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it goes down to revisit 9.
So 10.50 and 9.
Yeah.
Bondo. Everyone was getting all balled up about this a while back. Just have a look at this.
I haven't done any real research into these RWAs, you know?
Look at that for a monthly candle or chart. Breakout, retest, coming into support. Hmm. I'm going to say we see it 1.92. I'm going to say we see a slight bounce in this RWA.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
$1?
92 cents.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, that would have been a bit of a big bounce, wouldn't it?
Massive. Um,
Yeah, 92 cents for me.
no, I can't see it. So you're going bullish.
I think we could come down lower. I just have a feeling we could have a bounce and it could tick up.
So you say 92?
Yeah, I said 92. mean, you've got some support around there. 58 cents.
I think these things are the best things to short. I think they are the best things to short. I'm gonna go with
65.
I was gonna say 60. I was actually
Oh, I was close. I thought
yeah,
I could feel it in my mind that you're going to say 65.
just because that's where that support is.
Yeah. 60, yeah?
Yeah.
Perfect. Right, and with this thing's been slaughtered.
Whiff has been caned, but
If you're not financial advice, if you're looking to get into WIF, this is where you start buying WIF.
yeah, and also as we were saying about the whole Doge preceding the altcoin run,
Yeah.
what if Whiff is the new Doge and
Yeah.
Whiff precedes Doge, which precedes altcoins,
Possibly.
and it just shoots up this week?
Definitely on the cards. I mean,
Nah.
if liquidity's to go by anything, we could potentially see some sort of bottom, obviously forming towards the end of March. So we could be seeing a bounce in this in early April.
And also, oddly enough, Whiff has done pretty well today.
Yeah, it hasn't been.
Has it?
I mean, I think it's. I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised there's anyone left to sell. I mean, look at it. It is down from highs of 480 to 42 cents, 90+% correction. So I can't see this getting hammered much more, to be honest. The way I'm looking at this.
Yeah, this this is going to become the one that I really start to watch, because I think this one depicts when the sentiment changes, when we start to go up. I think Whiff is the first one to move.
I think it could go maybe a little bit lower, but I don't think it's much more.
No,
You're definitely best off. Not
this is like a sideways one, isn't it?
Yeah, you start accumulating.
All right, I'm gonna. This will be my one bullish one. I'm gonna say 50 cents.
Yeah, I was gonna join you at 50 actually.
Yeah.
I'll go a tad more bullish. I'll do 53. Obviously we're only doing this over the week. That's like well off, but yeah, on a longer term time frame, like this could definitely be some sort of bottoming process that we're in.
Yeah, I think this is a good time to start getting into Whiff.
Yeah, not
financial advice, of
obviously.
course.
Now, which one this week are we going to do our trade on? Which one would you like to do your trade on?
I'm going to, well, which ones are available is the question, because I'm
Bitcoin, ETH, Maple, Ondo, or WIF? I assume WIF, ETH, BTC, and Ondo would be on Hyperliquid. Maybe not Maple or Syrup.
Let me see. Maple is not.
I mean, I'm happy to do mine on ETH.
Okay, so you'll do ETH. ETH is on here definitely. How much leverage would you like, sir? Oh, hold on. Do you know what? Let me share.
Ground, didn't we, last time? It was 3x did we use?
Yeah, I should have put more on though. I know I should have put more leverage on because
You've got to keep it the same though. Otherwise, this is where the account won't build.
No, but the problem is if you're doing one which doesn't move much, then you're not putting enough X's on. So like I done one which was gonna move 20-30%, but ETH is not gonna move. Well, it might.
Well, yeah. If it's going where I think it's going, it's got 20% to go.
Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do? 3x then. We'll do 3x. Hold on.
Go with 3x.
Let me share so that people
I
can.
was going to say an ETH short from here to a target of 1.6. So from current price at 1.850, that is a 15% correction, give or take. And then I would like stops at 2.2.
You'll liquidate. Yeah, 2-2. Yeah, ETH's not going back that high.
Yeah, I'm just giving myself a bit of leeway.
Yeah, you're not getting tapped out this week, mate. I'll tell you
Yeah,
that.
I'm not trying to. The first week was a total shambles.
Right. So how much are we gonna put in? Right.
Did we actually make profit from last?
Yes, we did.
We
So
did.
yeah. So currently we've got our balance is currently 110 USDC.
$10 profit in a week. Come
Well,
on.
that's 8%.
Yeah, we'll have that all day.
Mate, don't sniff at 8%, mate.
All
That's,
day.
that's not bad for 1 week. The $100 to $100,000 challenge is still on.
It is underway.
It's still on. So right. So how much do you want to put in anyway?
What
20%,
can we do? Should we do another 50 each again?
50%.
Oh no, $50.
Yeah, which is
Yeah, 50% each.
okay. All right. Your stop loss you want it to be at 22,
2, yeah, I don't get knocked out. Hopefully,
and your take profit.
1.6.
Okay.
I mean, that's really bad for me there because if I do get knocked out, I'm getting knocked out for more than I would win if my take profit gets hit, which isn't a good risk to reward. But hey ho.
Well, move your take profit down then.
No, because you know full well that if I do that, then he's going to just come out of nowhere with like mega strength and not
You
even.
know what will happen? It'll go down exactly to 1600, and then it will rip off.
Let's lower it. So between my target of 1.450 to 1.6, we'll do 1.520.
Yeah.
But then obviously the aim of the game of this year is for this to hit this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nah, we'll leave it at 1.6 then. I don't want to be greedy. I hate short-term stuff.
it's just
This stuff.
it's just a bit of fun. Like it's not. It doesn't matter if
I'm
you.
taking this seriously now. I want to get this to 100k.
I know you are. But that's good though, I suppose, because at least that way, when we do get to around 20k or 30k,
Yeah.
like we'll be in the zone.
Yeah.
We won't just be mucking about with it. All right, so I'm going to place that order. Let's see. Why is it saying?
That's a market order you have to execute now.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
What's what your liquidation price is $3,000.
That's all right. We get knocked out at 2-2. And we're live.
Okay. One down. We have one position now. We're on ETH short.
We're 6 cents up. Take it. Run.
Oh,
22 cents.
22
Take it.
cents
Run.
up. Easy money. Easy money.
What's everyone saying this trading game's hard for, eh?
I know. Do you know what I mean? So what we should have done is put it on 50x leverage, and we'd be well up by now.
That could have been a quick, $200?
Yeah. Yep. All right. So, and I wanted to do Maple, didn't I? But I don't think it's on here. No, Maple's not on there.
Try Ondo.
Ondo's
Yeah,
on there. I'm less confident about Ondo though, because that's the leader. That's the only one I've got left. Okay, I'll do Ondo. All right, come on, Ondo, baby.
You're going to go with your target of all the way down there at 60 cents?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Because even if we don't hit the 60 cents,
Yeah.
by next week, if we're not tapped out, then we close.
Yeah.
Wherever we are, right? So we'll be lower than we are now.
Yeah.
So I will take profit at 60 cents. And my stop loss will be $1.
Yeah, I think that's a good stop loss.
It's about right, isn't it?
Yeah,
No,
dollar's sensible.
you think so? I was gonna put 90 cents. Do we go back up to 90 and then down again?
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. I think the dollar's probably a better
Dollar's
one.
better, isn't it? Yeah,
It's a safer option.
dollar's a bit
Gives you
more.
a bit more leeway as well in case it does have a little rebound.
Yeah, in case we have a little pumpy. Right, okay. So I want to place this order. Oops. I don't know what happened there. Looks like I tapped it twice by accident.
I've got 2 ETH on, is that what that is?
Nah, those are the
Oh, it's the take profit.
and stop loss. Yeah. Okay. So right. Okay. There we go. There we go.
We're underway.
Well, you're already up $1. So
Yeah, come on, ETH.
already
Pump
up,
it, baby.
already up 2%.
Pump it.
You're already up 2%. I'm down. ETH
This
is
is, I mean,
ETH is easy money this week.
I hope so.
Yeah,
I hope so. Hopefully this comes in. My 1 ETH turns to 1.5. We're all happy. And then we can look at being a bit more positive maybe towards the back end, so maybe episode 20. Is when we get the reversal. That'd be quite nice, wouldn't it? Nice big round number.
Yeah. 20 is when we start becoming rich again.
The market won't move unless we get to episode 20. I reckon that's safe to say.
We've done all right. How many episodes have we missed so far?
None.
No, I missed one. So you've done one solo.
Yeah, one solo session.
That's not bad.
That's right. Good. Good
Okay.
going.
Well, on that note,
Yeah.
Okay.
Try and stay safe, guys. Don't get too bared up with all the bear porn and doom porn that is on X, because it is awful. Like,
Yeah.
It is dismal.
Yeah.
Just try and have that longer term perspective. I hate to say it, but go touch some actual grass.
Yes.
Go outside. Don't look at screens. If you've got the balls, if you're too scared to buy, you should be buying. If you're feeling happy, then you shouldn't be.
Yeah. This is true.
So
Yeah. Now is probably maybe a week early. I reckon by next week I'm going to start putting in bullish.
yeah, I mean, I've already started clipping stuff up.
Yeah.
I'm not. I think the risk to reward here is massively outweighed.
Yeah.
Because your downside from here, for me, is only maybe another 20-30%.
Yeah.
The majority of the move is done. Your upside is now 500 plus.
Yeah.
So,
Agreed.
let's
Agreed.
see.
All right then, sir. We'll see
Stay
you.
safe, everybody, and we'll see you all next week.
Yeah.
Adios.